Live.
Mavericks get crushed at home by Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. We'll talk about the massacre next on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. What's up? It's the DLLS Mavs post-game show live in our downtown Dallas DLLS Sports Studios. Kevin Gray alongside our DLLS Mavs analyst Bobby Curler. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys, coming your favorite team, especially when there are now 7 games left in the regular season.
Woohoo!
After the Mavericks get absolutely destroyed at home tonight by 30, 124 to 94. Ayo Dosunmu, an 18.15 rebound, 12 assists, triple-double for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards makes his return, scores 17 points in 22 minutes. Daniel Gafford leading the way for the Mavericks with 21 points on 9 of 11 from the field in 24 minutes as the Mavericks lose their 13th straight home game. Now their second longest losing streak at home in the last now 32 years.
Great googly moogly.
The only losing streak longer in the last 3+ decades was 19 straight losses at Reunion Arena during the 93-94 season.
That one wasn't a good one.
Yeah. That's how long it's been since the Mavericks have had this kind of futility at home. Bobby Corella, talk to me.
Well, tough night for Coop, man.
Yeah.
Really tough night for Coop. Now, I feel like that's, well, okay, obviously you shot 5 for 19. So if you didn't watch the game, if you're listening at home or watching at home or whatever, you did not tune into the game. Coop, 5 of 19 from the floor, 12 points, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 blocks, no steals, minus 35. Yikes. Pretty bad. I liked that he was aggressive. I think the Mavs starting Nembhard and then also putting him out there in the starting lineup with Nembhard, a point guard, and then Max Christie and Chris Middleton, so 2 shooters, and then Daniel Gafford, a rim-running big man. Obviously, you can upgrade at literally all 4 of those spots, and you probably should, and they probably will. But conceptually, there was a lot of space, and Coop was beginning a lot of possessions off ball, and so he was running off screens, getting the ball. He was taking handoffs. He was attacking, and I don't mind that he shot really poorly. First off, the outcome of the game doesn't really matter. Secondly, I liked that he was working on, taking a handoff or coming off a screen, flashing toward the ball, catching, turning to the basket, and shooting. He took a catch-and-shoot 3 early on. He took 3 threes for the game. He was taking 2s, like not just contested pull-up 2s, but rhythm 2s, where he's playing off the ball and then getting it in a position where he can have an advantage or create an advantage and then rise up from there. Now, there was a little bit of physicality. I'm sure that, maybe you could have shot a couple more free throws or whatever, but I think he just shot it really poorly. But I was very happy with his level of aggression and with how often he was looking to shoot, which I think I am a man of agenda, all right? I believe he can be more aggressive looking for a shot whenever he has someone to handle the playmaking duties for him. Whenever he's out there with Nembhard or Brandon Williams or another point guard, he's able to just focus on shooting as opposed to handling the ball, getting everyone situated, and making a decision from there. So even though the outcome was really, really yucky for the most part, I'm happy with the process generally.
Yeah, I mean, he had 5 made field goals. 3 of them were dunks. I mean, he finished in transition quite a bit. But yeah, I think the physicality, the tone was set early on in the first quarter from Minnesota in terms of how they wanted to get after Cooper tonight. And that was to really get into his space, make him uncomfortable, try to get him off of his spots. and introduce a level of physicality, whether you think it might have been a little too far and the referees did not give Cooper Flagg some of the foul calls that, that you might have felt like he deserved. There was clearly an intention from Minnesota, particularly when it started with Julius Randle, to really turn up the physical pressure on Cooper Flagg to see how he would respond to it.
They had to, though, because they started Io out there for Jaden McDaniels, which is part of the reason why Cooper was the central piece of my PrizePicks pick of the game, which another swing and a miss. Thanks, Coop. But without I thought, okay, McDaniels is so long and quick, and he's got good hands, and he's such a good defender.
Yeah.
And Coop can overwhelm him physically, maybe, but McDaniels is really long. Well, Dosunmu is not nearly as long or physical or strong or anything, and so Randle had to be the one to deliver that. And Randle's a big dude. Like, there aren't many guys in the league that can push Coop around, and Randle's one of them.
Yeah. And whether or not there could have been a flagrant foul on Rudy Gobert, where he swung that arm and clearly smacked Cooper Flagg in the face. They didn't even review it at all. Actually, it just played on.
It
so
just kind of happened. I
don't know if it warranted being a flagrant, but I
don't think so.
I don't know. But yeah, you could tell early on that was kind of what Minnesota wanted to do, was to really put the physical pressure on and see how he would respond. And Julius Randle, he was up to the task, as he is every time he comes to Dallas. He had 24 points, 9 of 14 from the field, went 3 of 4 from downtown, and really got things going for the Timberwolves offensively, where they scored 35 points in that first quarter, and it was pretty much game over from there. A couple of other numbers from tonight's game. Minnesota went 14 of 31 from three, shooting 45% from downtown. Mavericks took just 29 threes, going 7 of 29 from downtown at a 24% clip. Overall, shot 34.8% overall from the field, missing what would be a grand total of checks notes 58 shots on 89 attempts tonight for Dallas. Meanwhile, the Timberwolves went 51 of 96, shooting 53% from the field in tonight's game.
I thought it was interesting that, most teams don't really have like a, well, I don't know, maybe they do. Randall's a pretty unique four, so I would say most teams don't have a four-man that's like bulky the way that Julius is, that can kind of deliver, and especially that's playing alongside a center like Gobert. So like Gobert just being out there is kind of like Wemby and some of these other guys, where it's going to really like discourage you or even spook you into shooting it within like 3 feet. And Coop is not a very efficient jump shooter yet in his career. And, so between the fear or awareness of Gobert, potential like mental and physical discouragement of attacking delivered from Randle, mixed in with his own sort of like hesitance to take jumpers, throughout most of the season so far. That's why I am impressed that he took 19 shots. Because it's like there were so many reasons for him to get passive or get in his feelings or just kind of whatever. But like he kept working, which I think is interesting, because I don't remember many times against many teams this year where this exact situation happened. The team has a good rim protector and a guy on the perimeter that's roughing him up a little bit, forcing him to take jumpers. Like, there aren't many teams where that's been the case. So I feel like I learned something about Coop tonight.
Yeah, the 19 shots. I mean, we're at this point in the season where I don't mind him being the one that takes the bulk of the jump shots on the team, because who else do you want taking them, to be honest, given where this team is at. So,
Max Christie, man.
No.
He shot 50% from three tonight.
Well,
he took 2.
Okay, all right. But for a lot of these players, we know what they are. I want to see Cooper Flagg, as you talked about, remain aggressive and go look after his own shot and be kind of the offensive aggressor to set the tone for his team on that side of the floor. And yes, that can help, obviously, with a point guard being able to help facilitate and create some space for him. So the 19 shots, I don't mind it. Obviously, the efficiency you would want to be there, where he has been really good. He shot over 50% in his last 5 games. We talked about it during the pregame show, where he was averaging over 23 points per game, shooting 50% plus from the field and stuff in the stat sheet, giving over 6 assists and over 6 rebounds per game. So this is
not much of that tonight.
Yeah, no, not much of that tonight at all. I mean, this is a good defensive team in terms of Minnesota. You can kind of debate whether or not they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde in terms of how they are against good teams versus poor teams. But at the same time, this is a good team in Minnesota who has taken advantage of beating up on really bad teams this year. We talked about during the pregame show as well, a team coming into tonight that's won 23 of 31 games against teams below 500. You can make that now a 24 of 32 against teams below 500.
Those are the games you got to win, man. They all cash out for the same at the end of the year. They do.
It's one of the reasons why the Sixers have the record that they do. They've been terrible against 500 or better teams, but they've been beating up on really bad teams this year.
So something that is it's disturbing me. It's taken root deep within my soul.
Oh.
The Mavs lost this game by 30.
They did.
They have now lost in franchise history 18 games at home by at least 30 points.
In franchise history?
In franchise history. 18 30-point L's at home.
I'm going to say 6 of them have come in the last 2 years.
Only 3. But they've all come this season.
Oh.
Opening night against the Spurs and then a couple weeks ago against Cleveland. They haven't lost at 30 before this season. They hadn't lost by 30 at home since March 2022 against the Knicks, and then Feb 4, 2021, the Kelly Oubre game against the Warriors.
Yeah.
And then they took an ugly one to Memphis at the end of the 18-19 season, but who even cares? They were tanking. And that's it for the last almost 10 years. So to get now the NBA, what was the stat? Tim Reynolds, I think, just posted it. This the most 30-point blowout wins in league history in a single season have come this season. So add another one to that list. But, dude, for them to get just blown out at home by 33 times, and there were a couple times where it probably could have been more, but, good
fake comeback here, there, fake comeback here, there, yeah.
I mean, it's just they've got to, we're drifting into the games are getting a little less competitive, even though they did just beat Portland and they did go to overtime with the Warriors. There have been some competitive games, man. To get blown up by 30 is wild.
Yeah, and, the Timberwolves that came off an embarrassing loss at home to Detroit over the weekend where Detroit came into the Target Center and ran them out of their own building. You could tell early on this is not a happy Timberwolves team who wanted to take it out on a Mavericks team that obviously isn't necessarily in the business of winning games at this point in the year. And this was a professional win by a good basketball team in terms of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And beating down what was a shorthanded Mavericks team. No Najee Marshall, no P.J. Washington, no Marvin Bagley III in this game for Dallas. So
they, and that definitely hurt them. I mean, you think of a team like Minnesota that's really wing heavy.
Yeah.
To be missing 2 of your best wings is going to hurt a little bit. But yeah, dude. I mean, it feels like Minnesota's really just kind of. I don't remember the last time did they beat the Wolves. They beat the Wolves last season, second game of the year. They went to Minnesota, or maybe third game of the year, whatever it was. They went to Minnesota and won.
Yep,
that was a really close one. But really, it feels like outside of that game,
I don't think they beat
ever since they met in the playoffs. Feels like Minnesota's won all those games by 20 plus.
They beat them Christmas Day, obviously.
Barely.
That was they came back. The Mavericks came back.
Kyrie they were down 20.
Yeah, Kyrie led a big comeback after Luka got hurt. I don't think the Timberwolves have lost since that game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they just and again every game, especially there, and even before. Part of the reason why I was so spooked going into the conference finals that year is because the Wolves just beat the Mavs down every time they played that year too. It really feels like for the last. Really, during Jaden McDaniels' career,
the
Mavs just cannot beat the Wolves, especially in Minnesota, and so they're gonna, they'll have to figure that out at some point. But something about that, I don't know if it's the jersey, if it's the color, if it's the name. Maybe the Mavs are scared of dogs. I don't know what it is, but it usually gets pretty nasty whenever they play.
The Minnesota Timberwolves, with their win tonight, swept the season series with the Dallas Mavericks 4-0 there. Let's take our first break. We're gonna get to super chats on the other side of the break. Look, man, y'all gotta quit getting mad at Utah. They've been flagrantly doing this for months. It just is what it is, man. They do it better than anybody. Who knows if the basketball gods reward them? But yeah, the Utah Jazz put on another generational performance in terms of tanking tonight. as we'll take a look around the association and see what else happened in the NBA. We'll do all that and more coming up next.
Let's talk about FanDuel Predicts. Folks, if you don't know how a prediction market works, it's not this outcome-based thing. It's not like I give you money because I think the Mavs are going to win, and then the Mavs either win and I collect, or they lose and I go home sad. No, if I give you money and say I think the Mavs are going to win, and then they get out to a big lead, all of a sudden it becomes almost like an investment. It's worth more, and I can cash out at any point. I can also enter a new position at any point. It is a whole lot of fun. So check it out on FanDuel Predicts. It starts when you put in $10 on FanDuel Predicts, and they will match it with a $10 bonus. How about that? So take a position on the spread, total points, or the winning team. Follow the action in real time. March matchups are on FanDuel Predicts, and so am I. I'm on there. It is a whole lot of fun so far. Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered future commissions merchant. It must be 18 or older, one per user. Minimum $10 deposit required. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with our consumer protection tools. Spring is springing. The sun is shining. It's getting kind of hot. It's getting kind of humid. Even if it's a little windy, you're still sweating, okay? And so what you need, and what I need especially, because I can be a sweater, is breathable fabric, breathable clothes. And this is stuff that you can either wear to work or to work out. I'm talking about our friends at Quince and their Flow Knit Active Wear fabric. It is so comfortable. Again, it's super breathable. So whether it's 80 or 60 outside, I'm going to be feeling fantastic. And I know it's going to be more than 80. It might be 90s. It was 90 just the other day. And where was this the other day? Because I sure could have used some breathable fabric then. The best part is that all of Quince's prices are 50 to 60% less than similar brands. Quince works directly with ethical factories and cuts out the middlemen, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Mavs for free shipping and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. Again, go to QUINCE.com. Again, QUINCE.com/Mavs for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Mavs today. Well, if Coop had a rough night, then Kevin Gray, who is going to get the Gameball, the PrizePicks Gameball PrizePicks? Use promo code DLLS when spending your first $5 line for $50 and free lineups anytime you like. PrizePicks, good to be right.
Let's go to Daniel Gafford tonight. 21 points on 9 of 11 from the field, 8 rebounds for him in this game. Continues to play well. Over the last month has been really good for this Mavericks team, getting his legs back under him. Thought he was aggressive tonight, showed some spring, and yeah, we'll give it to Daniel Gafford tonight. So happy that he's been able just to be healthy over the last month.
I'd like to give an honorary touch of the ball to Brandon Williams,
Sure.
who found him with a couple of really nice passes.
Yeah.
Found Coop with a nice pass too. He had 7 assists tonight or something. We often malign his passing ability or struggles
Or lack thereof, yes.
Yeah, and tonight he made a couple really nice ones, including
He did.
some lobs in traffic, and doing that against Gobert is no easy feat. So I thought Brandon Williams had a really pretty good game too.
Yeah, he had 2 really good passes to Cooper Flagg for dunks in transition. One was one from half court, bounce pass, and then on another one on the break, went to the 5-hole and gave Cooper another dunk. So, yeah, good night from Brandon Williams.
But Gaff gets the ball.
Yeah,
no ball for you, B. Will. Should have
Daniel-
been 15 assists.
He does get our PrizePicks game ball of the night.
Here's another one for you. The Mavs tonight, 34.8% from the field.
Oh, gosh.
The last time they shot below 35% from the field in a game, just give me the season. You don't have to give me the date. That would be weird if you knew it.
Let's go.
It wouldn't actually be that weird.
Let's go 24-25 season.
Okay. Tanner, you taking 24-25 or you want to go before? You want to $1 him?
2017.
2017? Okay. The correct answer.
He's going to say this year probably.
Yeah.
it was last week.
Right, exactly.
April 14th, 2024, the last game of the regular season. Whenever the Mavs went to OKC and sat everybody, and OKC played all their starters. The Mavs took home a 49-point L that night. They shot 33% from the field. Earlier that season, December 22nd, 2023.
Oh, that's my birthday.
They shot 34.7% in a 36 point or 26, I can't do math, loss at Houston. And the one before that was also against Houston. So something about the Rockets, they just can't figure out. And how about 4 of the previous 7 before that were against Memphis? So I don't know. It's just all these teams. The Mavs just can't score. But, yeah, 35% is pretty low, man.
That's awful. Shout out to my guy Ben in the chat. Shout out to you, man. I see you in there. Appreciate you hanging out with us here on the BS3 network. Shout out to him. Shout out to Ben. Good to see you, man. Yeah, it's just dismal all around. Like, this is a good old-fashioned ass whooping. Like, that's kind of what it boiled down to. Just a good old-fashioned ass whooping at the American Airlines Center. Unfortunately, there's been too many of these in a lost season for this club. At the same time, for those who are wondering where the Mavericks are in terms of the Tankathon standings.
Right where we want them.
We'll have our Tankathon spin a little bit later on in the show as well with our National NBA Insider Mark Stein alongside with us. The Mavericks remain in 6th as far as the Tankathon is concerned. They do have the same amount of losses now as the New Orleans Pelicans, both teams with 51 losses. The Mavericks have played 75 games. The Pelicans have played 76 games. Now, the Pelicans don't play again until Thursday. They have a back-to-back on Thursday and Friday, so they'll watch the Mavericks, or maybe not, play the Bucks tomorrow because, remember, the Mavericks.
It's Milwaukee tomorrow?
Yeah, it's the makeup game. Yeah, it's the makeup game.
That's going to be a tough one, dude.
It's gonna.
I don't even mean tough to win or lose. I just mean that's going to be tough.
It's going to be a horrendous watch.
It's going to be a tough one to watch.
Yeah. I mean, the Bucks themselves,
as opposed to all the other games lately.
These have all been easy to watch. Tomorrow, though, uniquely different.
Yeah.
That Portland game, dude, I'd rather get. I mean, I have gotten dental surgery without anything to numb the pain. I would rather do that again than watch that Portland game ever again.
Gosh, yeah,
watch the Blazers at all.
Yeah, I don't want to watch them anymore this year.
Oh my God, dude, Milwaukee has just been getting clobbered lately.
Yeah, man, they've been getting destroyed.
Here's their last 4 games. 33-point loss to the Clippers. Yep. 31-point loss to the Blazers. 32-point loss to the Spurs. 14-point loss to the Clippers. The Mavs might actually win tomorrow. I mean, let's not be ridiculous, but they might.
Well, we'll see who's available tomorrow. I mean, Cooper Flagg played, nearly 31 minutes tonight for the Mavericks. There was no PJ. There was no Najee. We'll see if they're
illness.
We'll see if they're feeling better as they travel tonight to get to Milwaukee for a game tomorrow evening. So,
I mean, if they're like, there's different kind of basically. I'll peel back the curtain a little bit. In the NBA, sometimes illness is you have the flu or you have the cold or you have something that is contagious. Sometimes illness is had a couple too many drinks the night before or you ate something funny where it's not contagious. It just affects you. It could also be you have like a sinus infection or something where it just makes it really hard to breathe, which is very dangerous if you're playing sports. So, but if they have some contagious thing, they can't get on a plane around all these guys. Were they at the game tonight? I don't think they were.
Let's see. I don't remember seeing
them on the bench.
I don't remember seeing them. I remember seeing Caleb Martin on the bench, but obviously he's got the foot injury.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Najee or PJ.
I mean, if they got like a fever kind of sickness, like
so maybe they kept them home to try to get them as well as they could, be so they could play tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, Mavericks has several guys missing, so we'll see who's even available for tomorrow night's game. That game will tip off at 7 p.m. Against the Milwaukee Bucks. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what both of those injury reports look like going into tomorrow. Some of the other scores around the association, we take a look around what's going on in the rest of the league. I see you in the chat. Y'all pissed off about the Jazz continuing to flagrantly tank. Apparently, this game was tied in the fourth quarter between the Cavs and the Jazz.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So if you go back to,
is it like did Cleveland did they swap teams with the Wizards or something? Like, how is that even possible?
So let me get to the fourth quarter. Let's see. Yep. That's
oh my God!
Don't need all that.
You got to mute that device.
Yeah. Don't need all that.
Who played?
Well,
I mean, like all their guys.
Apparently, Filipowski sat.
No, I mean for Cleveland. I don't need. You could tell me who played for the Jazz and be like, oh yeah.
Well, let me tell you. So the game was tied at 100 with 8 minutes left.
Whoa!
In the fourth quarter, it was tied at 10. It was tied at 103. The Jazz actually had a lead.
Oh my God!
At 105. Dude. Okay, so the Jazz
Utah was beating Denver by like 10 with 4 minutes left the other night.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So with 5:40 left, the Jazz were actually up 105-103. That's apparently when they took out Ace Bailey, and he didn't play for the rest of the game.
They're like, he's gotten enough crunch time reps.
Okay, let me take that back. I'm sorry.
Guy.
So the Cavs went up 108, 105. That's when they took out Ace Bailey.
Gotcha. Okay.
They put Cody Williams in for the last 439, and
well, it makes sense. I mean, whenever you're down 3, you don't need offense anymore.
That's right.
You don't want to play your guys.
So to have it all recap, the game was tied at 105 with 5:15 left in the fourth quarter.
Wow. I mean, at this point, the Mavs are 3 or 4 games behind the Jazz. Like
they're not catching
happen.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna happen. The dream is officially dead.
Yeah.
It died before the game in Portland, but that night in Portland, the Mavs were winning and the Jazz were winning.
That's right.
So there was a chance that if the Jazz won and the Mavs lost, the dream would still be alive. We would be watching with intent.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be 6, 7, or 8, right? Isn't that Mavs? Like,
they'll be either 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You're right, Sarah. Yeah, Nikola Jokic.
Oh, Sarah.
Yeah, we love Sarah. Shout out to Sarah. Nikola Jokic took over him and Jamal Murray in that Utah game the other night where, they were up 10 with 5 minutes left and they went on a generational run of tanking is what they normally do. But yeah, as of right now, they're either the Mavs are going to be 6, 7, or 8, depending on what happens in the final, 7 games of the regular season. So as we mentioned, Mavs with 51 losses, Pelicans with 51 losses, Grizzlies with 50 losses.
Whew.
So, and we'll look at the Grizzlies schedule here in a minute because they've got a pretty difficult.
How many wins combined do you think those 3 teams have since New Year's Day? Mavs, Grizzlies, Pelicans.
The Pelicans actually played really well for a while there. They went
really well.
Yeah, they went like 8 out of 10 they won at one point.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
All right, eliminate them. Let's say Jazz, Mavs, and Grizzlies. Do you think they've won combined less than 15 games since New Year's Day?
Absolutely.
I don't even know how to find this.
Well, the Mavericks had a 10-game losing streak at one point.
I mean, they've lost 25 out of 30, I think.
Yeah. So,
all right, so on New Year's Day, let's see. Gonna do some quick math on a microphone, baby. On New Year's Day, I'm trying. My brain is overheating right now.
Oh my gosh!
All right, the Mavs, 12 wins. The Jazz, 12 wins. The Grizzlies, 15 wins. All right,
okay, so
12, and 15.
So 12, 9, and you said how many? So
15. 12, 15.
So 12, 9, 10. 12, 9, 10, 31.
They've won that many games?
31 games, yeah. Because the Jazz.
Wow, that is shocking.
Jazz are 21 and 55.
Yes, they've won 9 games.
Mavs are 24.
Grizzlies have won 10. Mavs have won 12.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's not as funny as I thought it was going to be.
now, the Kings are the worst. The Kings.
Damn.
So I think until it was a week and a half ago, the Pacers did not win a game after the All-Star break. Their first win for them after the All-Star break just came about a week or so ago for Indiana. They're the team that's been abysmal. They've been Washington. So, yeah, man, it's horrendous. But for folks who continue to get mad at the Jazz at this rate, you just like recreational anger at this point because
you're a Cowboys fan. You can't talk.
Well, yeah, that's a choice. You don't have to choose to be angry at the Jazz because we know what it is.
I think it's really important for people to continue expressing this negativity because the basketball gods are always listening. Okay, if we sit idly by and let the Jazz get away with the chicanery, okay, it's going to continue happening. We have to hold them to account, and only we can do that.
The Jazz and the Pacers looked at the NBA and laughed at that combined $600,000 that they find, and it's like, okay, cool, and kept doing what they were doing anyway.
It won't be worth it on draft night.
We'll find out.
PLH the legend
with the $1.99 super chat. If we don't sit players tomorrow,
what does that mean? I don't know if that is that a bad thing.
Backdoor kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that like a violent thing?
I don't know.
Well, I think. Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about if the guys are sick, they're probably not even going to be allowed on the plane.
Yeah.
It would not break my heart if Cooper Flagg did not play in the game tomorrow. It would not break my heart.
Well, I mean, for for those who still obviously want him to win Rookie of the Year, it's funny how when Khan plays well, Cooper plays well, or when Cooper plays well, Khan plays well. When one of them plays bad, for some reason, the other was like, you know what, I'm going to keep up with you and not play great either. So it's just kind of weird how their seasons have kind of mirrored each other in a number of ways, because Khan had 2 really poor games over the weekend against the Sixers and the Celtics. And it's like, okay, Cooper's been playing really well as of late. He's caught him, or at least continued to maintain his lead. And then he has the game that he had tonight, particularly from a number standpoint. That's just like, well, maybe Khan is still, in the lead for some of those who think he's the Rookie of the Year. So it is what it is. A couple other scores real quick. Heat win 119-109 at home over the Philadelphia 76ers. Hawks beat the Boston Celtics tonight. No Jason Tatum on the second night of a back-to-back, speaking of Charlotte, because the Celtics beat Charlotte yesterday on the road. But they lose on the road to the Hawks tonight. The Suns smacked the Grizzlies 131-105. Devin Booker was spectacular in that game for them. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs won 129-114. All you need to know from that game, Victor Wembanyama had a double-double. You say, Kevin, cool. He had a double-double. What else is new? He got that double-double in 8 minutes. Fastest double-double recorded in NBA history for Victor Wembanyama. He did it in a grand total of 8 minutes. So that's all you need to know there. And then finally, good one in Oklahoma City, 85-83. Thunder up over the Pistons with 9:30 left in the fourth quarter there. And the Luka-less Lakers up 18-79-61 over the Washington Wizards. Of course, Luka Doncic serving suspension tonight after receiving his 16th technical foul the other night. So he'll get to rest before the Lakers welcome in Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers on the second night of a back-to-back tomorrow in Los Angeles. Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs postgame show. When we come back, we welcome in our DLLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr., live from the AAC. We do that next.
This show is brought to you in part by our friends at PrizePicks. Folks, you know how PrizePicks works. We've been through this for almost 80 games. You choose whether a player is going to score more or less than their projected stat line in basketball. They could be points, rebounds, assists, any combination thereof. 3-pointers made, attempted, free throws made, attempted, steals, blocks plus steals, all of it. It is so much fun, and it's not limited to just basketball. Baseball just started. Hockey's winding down. Playoffs are ramping up soon, and as soon as that calendar flips to fall, I'm going to be all over football on PrizePicks. It is so much fun, and if you want to play along, download PrizePicks today. Use promo code DLLS when spending your first $5 lineup. You will get $50 in free lineups to use anytime you like. It is so much fun. You can go multi-sport. They also offer an early payout feature now to where if you get off to a really good start, PrizePicks will offer you a little cash up front that you can just cash out and put right into your pocket. It is so much fun. The possibilities are endless. And on PrizePicks, it's good to be right.
You know that moment when you leave your favorite pair of sunglasses on the roof of your car or 3 states over or on the beach? Yeah, I've been there too. But with Shady Rays, they're eyewear that has your back. They've changed the game with sunglasses that are made for real life. They're seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and they're not stupidly expensive either. And here's the thing. If you lose them or break them on day one, they'll send you replacements, guilt-free replacements, no questions asked, and Shady Rays will be able to take care of you. In fact, they don't offer any guilt trip, just replacements that you need and love. So you can actually wear your sunglasses without fear and without worrying about leaving them or breaking them, because Shady Rays is the eyewear that, of course, has your back. So make sure you go to shadyrays.com. Use code SRDLLS for 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Again, SRDLLS for 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses at Shady Rays at shadyrays.com. Check them out today. Welcome back to the DLLS Mavs podcast. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us here on this Monday night as the Mavericks get clobbered at home, 124-94 for their 13th consecutive home loss. Now their second longest losing streak in the last 32 years, as Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves come in and beat down the Dallas Mavericks. On the first night of a back-to-back, they'll be in Milwaukee tomorrow to take on the Bucks. We welcome in now our DLLS Mavs beat writer Ron Harrod Jr. live from the American Airlines Center Ron, what's going on?
Not much, fellas. Just here at the AAC. It was a very physical game for the likes of like a Cooper Flagg who was holding his shoulder and he was limping at certain points. He got smacked in the face, and it just was a very physical game. Jason Kidd talked about that. He said, I think Christian Clark of The Athletic asked him, like, what do you do in a game where, it's just a physical game like that? Not even specifically about Flagg, but just as a team. And he says that you have to be physical back, understanding different styles. You understand the referees. The whistle might not be blowing that night, so you just have to make that adjustment. And that's just what Jason Kidd, I guess, had to say about the physicality. But yeah, I mean, Cooper Flagg got beat up in this game. I mean, again, holding his shoulder, limping, smacked in the face by Rudy Gobert. Didn't get, maybe some of the foul calls that he would liked, but that's been a consistent theme, it seems, for the rookie.
Well, someone took notice, Tanner, and it was none other than Mama Flagg, who quote tweeted our very own Ron Harrod Jr., where he had the caption, Cooper Flagg is grabbing his side. He was also hobbling earlier, to which Kelly Flagg, Cooper Flagg's mom, quote tweeted it and said, quote, "This is ridiculous. How he gets thrown around and never gets a call," in quotes. So clearly, Mama Flagg not liking what she saw on the floor in terms of the officiating crew tonight.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I can say about Mama Flagg is that she's represented for like all the moms that kids did make it this far. If you ever play AAU, there were 5 billion Mama Flaggs out there that were like fighting the ref to the death or the unalive for their kids out there to get that call. She's just the mama that really made it. So I would really congrats to her, because there's a lot of mamas that are like, you know what, if my kid made it, I would do the exact same thing. So, I mean, I don't even think she's that, different in that way. I've seen it 1,000 times.
I just don't, man. I don't want to spend the next 15 years hearing from her and from Cuban about every missed call. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Please don't make me do it. Please.
Yes,
please.
force Bobby.
Please keep it offline. Keep it offline. Thank you.
That's your PSA.
That's it. Just like, no amount of free throws is ever going to be good enough. So it's like, why? Just why?
How about 43 of them?
No, I don't want to watch that.
Would 43 suffice for you?
I think every player that enters the game should get to take 2 free throws at any point throughout the game that they want. But that's it. No more, no less.
2 free throws at any point?
If you set foot on the floor, you get 2 free throws. Whenever you want them.
Oh, wow.
And that's it. Otherwise, there's no free throws. If you get fouled, side out.
Oh, wow. You're just eliminating points from the game, huh?
If it eliminates angsty tweeting, yes. I'm all for it.
Okay. What else did you learn from postgame from Jason Kidd or otherwise?
Yeah, well, I got a chance to see Brandon Williams in there as well. There was 2 plays where Brandon Williams had essentially like a wide open layup, and he decided, yeah, I'm going to pass the ball to Cooper Flagg. I thought that was a very interesting thing. One, because early in the season, Brandon Williams wasn't necessarily known for his passing and playmaking, but as of lately, that's been something that's been pretty good and has increased, I would say, a lot, his passing to be specific. So I asked B. Will about those plays, about the turning down the layups to give Cooper Flagg the dunks. And he says, just wanted to get him going any type of way. He was kind of struggling. He came up to me during the game and he was like, I need something going. So I just gave him an easy look through the rim. So Cooper Flagg essentially asked Brandon Williams kind of like, hey, I just need something. I can't hit a shot. And B will deliver 2 times. And I think it just kind of shows, one, I'm not sure if early season Cooper Flagg would have felt comfortable asking for something like that. And now in early season, I'm not sure if Brandon Williams would have necessarily saw Cooper Flagg and maybe, been able to do something like that. So I think it's cool to kind of see both of them grow. One, Cooper Flagg from a vocal standpoint, and 2, B will from a passing standpoint.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just had I was just asking, you going to ask a troll question. So
oh, okay.
If you have a basketball question, go ahead and ask it.
No, I was just going to say, I thought this was Brandon Williams' best passing game, one of his best passing games of the season. I thought there were some good decisions that were made by him. So kudos to him, because that's one of the things we've, discussed at length on the show in terms of his passing or lack thereof. So I thought this is one of his better decision and passing games of the season for him. So hopefully that earns him some money in free agency.
Ron, how would you characterize, the mindset and approach and sort of like thematic elements of Coop's struggle against a physically overwhelming opposing force that tests his will, his physical endurance, and his mental fortitude in One Piece terms?
I have no clue. I mean, I think if you're a One Piece listener I'm sorry, I'm so used to podcast. If you're a One Piece watcher, I think one of the earliest episodes of One Piece, you found out that the main character Luffy ate the devil fruit. The devil fruit gave him like a specific ability. For him, it's like stretchiness. He's like rubber, essentially. So if like if you try to do, he can, if you do something towards him from a weapon that I won't name, it will bounce off of him. If we understand what I mean by that. So Cooper Flagg is like this team. He's essentially kind of eating this fruit too, this devil fruit as well. He kind of has his own special abilities, but like Luffy early on, he hasn't really like developed into the main character that he will be eventually. Now, hopefully, it doesn't take about 1,000 episodes, but hopefully by next season and so on, Cooper Flagg continues developing. I think some also funny. Speaking about the physicality, one of the Timberwolves players, I couldn't. One of the Timberwolves players, I don't know who it was, because it wasn't like Anthony Edwards or some player, was like lifting after the game. They were playing some NBA YoungBoy, and me and some of the other reporters thought that was hilarious. Like it was like he was just lifting, going his hardest, playing YoungBoy.
No, guys lift after games all the time. Like it's a really common thing, actually. It's just,
it's not abnormal.
The Suns made a show out of it.
The music was funny.
Yeah. But the Mavs, there are guys on the Mavs that lift. There are guys on the Mavs that would get on the treadmill after a game. It's like, are you kidding me right now? You just ran 3 miles. What are you doing?
Insane.
It's crazy.
These guys are addicted. They're addicted to the grind.
I mean, you got to be to make it to this level, man. You got to be to make it.
I mean,
I don't understand. It seems like a bunch of hooey to me.
I forgot where I was going with all this.
What else from the game stood out to you, Ron?
All right, there we go. Thanks.
Yeah, well, one, I tagged one of our CHGO. I think it's Matt Peck. I think that's how you pronounce his name correctly. CHGO Bulls writer. I said, hey, is Ayadasumu this good?
Oh, man.
I mean, it was like less than 30 minutes. The man had like 16, 15, 12. And it was like I'm like, bro, I mean, I knew he was a good player. We talked about him on the show before even that trade kind of went through. That's a really good player. And to my knowledge, Ayadasumu is a free agent after this season. An unrestricted free agent, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And he's a good player, but I don't think he's like above. Like he's probably going to get around that Nikhil Alexander Walker deal, something around that area. If I would assume, I can't predict it as of today. If I would assume from today, he'll get something around a deal like that, which Bobby can let us know. But I think the Mavs can offer something like that, could they not? And he could be Kyrie, Io, Coop. Sounds pretty good to me.
He would probably be somewhere in the mid-level range. I mean, I guess a really good playoffs could help him a lot. But there aren't a lot of teams that have a lot of money. The issue with him, or the knock against him, is that like pretty much all the on-off advanced stat stuff have been like horrendous throughout most of his career, and it's unclear how good of a defender he is, or maybe like clear in a bad way. But it's not like the Mavs just have a ton of defensive guards. So yeah, I mean he's a pretty good shooter. He's kind of like pretty good at everything, and maybe not great at anything, but he's still he's not old, so he could still stand to get better. But yeah, I mean I'm interested.
Yeah, that's one thing that we'll discuss as we get into the rest of this season, into the offseason. This free agency class, not the strongest at all. So there will be some guys, whomever these teams are, that will have money that may overpay quite a bit for some of these guys in order to bring them into their roster. So I'm very interested to see how this free agency class will play out, because if you start to look at the top 50 free agents, the top 5, 6, 7 guys are going to get extensions or have player options. that'll stay with their teams and collect money, that type of thing. Or in the case of like Trae Young, for example, he'll opt out, but he'll sign a longer term deal, in Washington. Good luck with that.
There's guys, but that maybe just don't fit what the Mavs need, like Tobias Harris, Anthony Simons, John Collins. Like none of those guys really are kind of.
Yeah.
None of them check the box for what the Mavs want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, this is
Colin Sexton.
That ship has sailed, man. How many times is he a future Maverick?
Well, once a future
Collins.
Mav, always a future Mav.
John Collins, former future Maverick.
Okay, maybe they're both coming this summer.
Oh wow. Who you splitting that mid level with?
John Collins and Colin Sexton.
You're not doing it for
their names are split.
Yeesh.
John Collins Sexton. They share it.
You're not doing it for Chris Middleton and Marvin Bagley.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Maxi Kleber is a free agent.
Oh wow. Bring Max.
No,
Call
I
him
think
up.
Maxi's
Call
good.
Maxi.
I think Maxi's
Call
good.
him up. Not Evan saying LeBron. Let me tell you something. We're gonna talk to Mark Stein here in a minute because he got NBA Twitter world a buzz about the idea of him and Stephen Curry maybe teaming up in Golden State next year. Which, please, whatever, man. Do you
Cinema?
LeBron. Yeah, right. Exactly. Do you? Whatever, man. Whatever. Ron, you got to play on the second night of the back-to-back just like we do. So we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you, everybody.
Bye, Ron.
Let's take our final break here on the DLLS Mavs post-game show. When we come back, we welcome in our nationally mid-setter Mark Stein and take a spin around Tankathon. We'll do that next. But first, we want you to become part of our DLLS Sports family. The easiest way that you could do this to take advantage of our best offer that we have going right now to become a diehard member by scanning that QR code that you see on your screen or going to alldlls.com. Become a diehard member for $36 in your first year, normally $79.99. You can become a diehard member for $36. When you do, you get a free t-shirt upon sign up. Kind of like this one you can see right here that I got on. You get one of those or any t-shirt that we have available as part of becoming a diehard member here. You get access to our member-only Discord, also access to our premium content curated by Ron Herbat Jr. covering your Dallas Mavericks, the greatest beat writer in the history of the Dallas Cowboys, Clarence E. Hill Jr., who is putting in absolute work today in the owners' meetings in Arizona, getting interviews with everyone from Jeremy Fowler to he even talked to Rams GM Les Snead, the F them picks GM Les Snead, about Kobe Bryant, the new Cowboys corner.
Kobe Bryant.
That's right. He also talked to Ryan Schottenheimer. Like he's talking to everybody, literally talking to everybody at the owners' meetings. So you want the latest scoop on your Dallas Cowboys heading into the NFL draft, you got to become a diehard member. Also, Sam Nessler covering your Dallas Stars and Jeff Wilson covering your Texas Rangers, who got another win tonight. You can get some of our DLLS baseball gear available right now at store.allcitynetwork.com. So make sure you check that out. Rangers, 3 of their first 4 games, dub.
They're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Wait, that's the wrong sport.
They're going to the. Yep.
So good
championship games.
That's right. That's right. So good win for our Rangers tonight. They got Jacob deGrom on the bump tomorrow for the good guys. So looking forward to see if they can make it 4 out of 5 to start off the season. But you get all of that by going to alldls.com to become a diehard member. Yes, R. King, I did see Obafemi and Brock Lesnar tonight. I'm so excited for their match at WrestleMania. Me too. I will be there in Las Vegas in a few weeks' time. I'm very, very excited to see that match. So right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. Let's go back out to the American Airlines Center and welcome in our our National NBA Insider. You can always dial up the Stein Line at the Stein Line. He, of course, is Dapper Stein tonight.
Sharp tonight.
Shout out to Dapper Stein. Mark, what's going on?
Gents, good evening. Fingers crossed I remembered how to do this. Been a while since I've been at a home game. Been an even longer while since we've seen the Mavericks win a home game.
Right.
3 more of these to go. Will the Mavs end a streak that dates to January 22nd?
I already put out the call. I do think they will do it. Now,
They'll
I've been
beat Chicago
targeting
in the
that Bulls
finale.
game for a while, but suddenly that Magic game is
Oof.
looking
No.
awfully doable.
Ooh.
They're not
Awfully
going to beat
doable.
the Magic. They're not going to beat the Magic.
Oh,
Said that
damn.
with,
I
I
did
said that with some confidence.
They did. I did.
They're not going to beat the Magic. They're not going to beat the Lakers, but they will beat the Chicago Bulls on the final day of the season.
Free agency's running for me together. Who's the Cowboys corner?
Kobe Durant, wrong basketball player.
Durant. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Brian.
Cornerback Kevin Durant.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you for the correction. My bad.
I'm glad you weren't asking me for that information because I did not have it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I do have this question for you. So what were you doing during the 1993-94 season, the last time the Mavericks lost as many as 13 games?
That was in February of that season, 10 days before the trade deadline, was the start of my beat writing career.
Oh, wow.
I was thrown onto the Mavs beat in February of 1994. One of the first road games I covered was actually here in Dallas, and now I'm going to ask the Corellustrator to please look up the LA Clippers 93-94 season. And
March 11th?
sounds about right. Was there a game in San Antonio right after that?
Well, and sorry, that one was in Dallas. March 8th?
Yeah, the one in Dallas. Did they play Dallas and San Antonio? What were the dates?
March 8th, 1994.
And so who won that game?
The Clippers, 116 to 110.
So I don't know if that Clippers win was part of one of those lengthy Mavs losing streaks, but it is possible that I was at least one game.
How about this one, Mark? So the win improved the Clippers to 20-38, dropped the Mavs to 8-51. For the Clippers, Dominique Wilkins scored 34 and Ron Harper scored 36. They combined for 70 points, 16 rebounds, 6 assists. Probably the lead of your story is the Clippers have their dynamic duo of the future.
No, because what happened was, like I said, I got thrown onto the beat 10 days before the trade deadline. I was roughly Ron Harad's age. I was not ready to cover the NBA trade deadline. And the Clippers made what was at the time the most significant trade in their Clippers history, Danny Manning for Dominique Wilkins, 10 days into my beat writing career. And the reason that trade will always stay with me, because I actually think it is the closest comp to the Luka trade. I want to underline this and say nothing can really compare to the Luka trade. The Luka trade is in a class by itself for the way it was done, when it was done, how it was done, what it meant, proximity to the Mavs finals run, all the factors that everybody knows. But the closest comp that I can remember, think about it, the 93-94 season, Michael Jordan has retired and gone to play baseball. And suddenly, the Atlanta Hawks are leading the Eastern Conference. Michael Jordan is no longer in their way. And the Atlanta Hawks, without warning, trade Dominique Wilkins, by far the most popular player in franchise history, to the Clippers for Danny Manning when they were leading the East. Now, again, I want to make this clear. Not an exact comparison, because Dominique at this point is in his 30s. He's had the Achilles injury. He's not like in his prime like Luka, a 25-year-old, 5-time first-team All-NBA selection. So it's not an exact comparison, but there are echoes of the Luka trade in that Atlanta trade for Atlanta to just, they're leading the East. Jordan's out of their way at last. They trade Dominique to the Clippers for Danny Manning, and it didn't work out for either team. But one of the coolest things that I got to do in that first season for me on the Clipper beat was somewhere else in that March run of games, I'm going to guess March 25-ish, Bobby, the Clippers went to Atlanta, and I got to cover a game at the Omni. Dominique Wilkins returned to the Omni and led the Clippers to a win over Danny Manning and the Hawks. And Dominique was so amped to go back into the building where the Hawks had traded him away. That was, for a young beat writer, that was a really special, memorable occasion.
Dominique later that summer left in unrestricted free agency. So
he went to the Boston Celtic. He went to the Boston Celtics. Ron Harper went to the Bulls to kind of step into Jordan's role. And then, of course, that was the 94-95 season. And in March of that season, Jordan came back. So I'm glad you asked me that, man. Those are some really, really fond memories of my youth. Thank you, Kevin Gray, for that unscripted historical detour. You made my night.
You're very welcome. There are some folks who used to be Hawks fans we would talk to have said that they have never returned to be Hawks fans after they traded away their franchise superstar, even at the time that he was in his career, and have never come back to be Hawks fans.
I mean,
that's
like
how,
Dominique. Yeah. Dominique is the runaway most popular Hawk. I think Trae Young is second, to be honest. And we saw the Hawks trade Trae Young pretty unceremoniously as well this season. But 10 days into my beat writing life, that's what I was dealing with. And just to give you one more glimpse of how it was, shout out to one of my mentors and someone who has always been great to me, Peter Vesey. He owned the NBA Beat back then. One of the first things I did when I became Clipper beat writer for the LA Daily News was buy a fax machine. Because in those days, Pete Vesey wrote a 3 times a week column in the New York Post called Hoop du Jour. And it was the must-read NBA Intel column. But he also sent it out by fax, a longer version. Some of the things that got cut from the New York Post column would be in the fax. And so I bought a fax machine to subscribe to Pete Vesey's column. And Pete, indeed, in that column, broke the Dominique is going to be a Clipper. And it was done by fax in 1994. I mean, it's like how much the world has changed in 30 years, man. There was barely
when I was a kid, I was convinced that I was going to be sending faxes all the time.
There was barely internet in 1994, let alone thinking about Twitter.
It's crazy. We won't ask you about the game because, I mean, for what?
I was worried when you were going to say what are takeaways. I mean,
no.
Gafford looked like Gafford tonight, which was nice, but I mean, cooperflagg is just getting. I don't know what the refs are watching, man. But hey, Ron Harrod Jr. is tweeting about it, and Cooper's mom is quote tweeting Ron Harrod Jr. That was the kind of night it was here at the AAC.
Before we take our spin around Tankathon, do you have any idea real quick as far as travel itinerary, what the plans could look like as far as the Mavericks and player availability for tomorrow as they play that makeup game against the Bucks on the second night of a back-to-back?
I mean, they're leaving town as we speak. Everybody hustled out of here to get to the airport on a tough back-to-back. But I must confess that I was focused post-game on visiting with various various members of the Wolves traveling party. So I do not have specific update. I don't know who do you want to know specifically?
Coop.
I mean, I always expect Coop to play, but I mean, I would really have to. I will have to do some reporting to make sure. But I mean, he took every hit tonight and didn't stop playing. So
that's very true. All right. That gets us to our latest spin around Tankathon. The Mavericks remain in 6 tonight. After their loss, they now have the same amount of losses as the New Orleans Pelicans, both with 51 losses. Now the Pelicans do not play again until Thursday when they're on the first night of a back-to-back on Thursday and then on Friday. The Memphis Grizzlies got tattooed by the Phoenix Suns tonight to get to 50 losses on the year. So
where are the
7,
Mavs?
and
Are they
8.
still 6? Are they still the 6th worst record in the league?
Holding on for dear life, Mark.
Yeah, 6, 7, and 8 is now separated by just one game.
But your
the
Grizz threw in a win that they weren't expecting, so they helped. They offset the Mavs' recent win that had you
Mavs
so
can't screw it up by winning tomorrow night. That's why I'm asking about Coop.
Yeah, the Grizz tried to give it away in the final seconds of that game against Chicago the other night. But Chicago decided they didn't.
Oh, you guys are suggesting that they would sit Coop for tanking purposes. I don't see that happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see that. I do not see that happening.
Well, that's too bad because they might win. As it stands now, though, the Mavs holding on to 6th, 37.2% chance at a top 4 pick, and a 9% chance at the number 1 overall selection.
Yeah, the idea of catching the Jazz is pretty much done. They are 3.5 games behind the Jazz with 7 games to play. They're not catching them.
But it looks like the Jazz are going to end up with the 5th worst record, which means the Jazz are at risk for losing their pick. They can fall to 9th, which would cost them their pick. They'd have to send it to OKC, which is interesting.
Oh my gosh. What?
Very funny.
The Jazz had to finish with a bottom 4 record to ensure they don't lose their pick. 5th is not good enough for Utah. Again, it's the worst case scenario. But Utah will be nervous on May 10th, believe me.
Oh, I didn't realize that pick goes to the Thunder. Oh my.
If it falls to 9, it goes to the Thunder.
I thought we had avoided all Thunder scenarios, but I guess not.
Nope. Spin it, baby.
Yeah, let's take the Tankathon spin in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Come on. We deserve it. Yes.
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 What happened? 1?
Let's go.
The Mavericks move all the way up to number 2.
Come on.
2.
And take Darren Peterson at number 2. Doesn't get much better than that.
Let's go.
Stop the count right there. Stop the count right there.
Who won it and who took number 1?
The Pacers won it and took AJ DeBonsa.
I don't know that they would do that.
See that? No, they're going to take Boozer.
I think if the Pacers win the lottery, they're going to trade down to get Boozer, or just take him, and then the Mavs will get
they can
Bonsa
just
at
take
2.
him at 1.
The Mavs will get DeBonsa at 2, baby.
Yeah,
in this
actually,
scenario,
that makes more sense.
Oh my
Bobby,
God,
that
we're
they-
eating good too.
that
Because 3 of the top 5 are East teams, 5 of the top 7, 4 of the top 7
That
are
makes
East teams.
that
That's
makes
huge.
more sense that they would trade down, because can you really take Boozer at 1?
No.
I mean,
Someone will happily trade up to take their choice of DeBonsa or Peterson or whoever. Someone will, for sure.
oh, I like that pick at 30 for the Mavs too. Joshua Jefferson out of Iowa State. I like that. This is about as good as it gets from a draft standpoint. And then who they take at 48?
Can you guys read out some of the names? You know, I can't see.
Go back up to the top. Yeah. So at 1, the Pacers took DeBonsa. The Mavs took Peterson at 2. Boozer goes 3 to the Kings. Caleb Wilson goes 4 to the Nets. Kingston Flemings goes 5 to the Wizards. Keaton Wagler goes 6 to the Jazz. Acuff goes to the Hawks through the Pelicans at 7. Nate Ament goes 8 to the Grizzlies. Brayden Burries goes 9 to Chicago. I like that for them.
Who would you want it to? Who would you want it to? Who is the dream choice at 2?
DeBonsa.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if Peterson's there at 2, I'd take Peterson personally. I mean, 6'6" guard who can do
Either one. At 2, you're getting one of those 2.
Yeah. We said pretty at either one at 1 and 2. I'm not going to quibble about if it's DeBonsa or Peterson. So I just want them to get into the top, 5 and beyond. 5 or better, we good there. Lanner decided to cook with the super chats at the end, at the buzzer. Shout out to him. Lanner with the $2 super chat. Thoughts on Mark Cuban's owner comments? Bring him on. Well,
It's going to be a long offseason. We probably will.
and we have had him on before.
We'll reach out.
He basically said that last summer when he was on DLLS.
That's right.
He did.
He's said it multiple times. He keeps getting invited on podcasts. They keep asking him the question, and he says it.
How is that playing?
And you best believe when he comes on again, we'll ask him again.
From your best read, how is that playing? Like, he keeps saying this publicly over and over and over again. And
it's a great question. Yeah, it's a great question. And like, look, tonight there was no visible interaction, but he and Dumont were both in the building. It is awkward for sure. I mean, yeah.
I mean, if I was Mark, I'd keep talking because like it's either nothing happens or I get an extra $1 billion.
I get bought out for good.
But if you guys remember, I reported at the trade deadline, like already by the trade, like initially there was a period after Nico's dismissal where Cuban was brought into the meetings and they were kind of giving him some semblance of a voice again. By the time the AD trade went down, that was already basically over. So
gone again.
Like it's very weird and awkward for sure.
Okay.
Interesting.
Lanner with the $5 super chat. How has Jason Kidd avoided any blame on the Luka trade? Firing him is the only shot we had to eventually bring back Luka. I'm still hopeful he'll make his return.
2028.
2028.
I mean,
I think it's going to be very, 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 very difficult to lure Luka Doncic back here. I'm just being honest with you.
All the reporting has indicated again is Nico's choice to make that trade. Now, how much knowledge anyone else in the organization had, I guess, is really it's all in everyone's. I guess follow your heart or whatever. But like, I mean, all of the reporting from Stein, all the reporting from every other person in the know, whether that's in Mavs land or national land or international land, has indicated that Nico Harrison wanted to make the trade, and he let everyone in on it, kind of either at the very last second or after the buzzer. And whether you were on board or not, you kind of had to just get on with your life and make the best of the situation. So,
I mean, the way 77 acts every time he sees Jason Kidd, he clearly believes he might have something to do with it because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I have not seen an interaction between the two of them since that trade went down. And every time that the Mavericks have played the Lakers, there has not been an interaction between Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd whatsoever. In fact, I think he said he called him or tried to text him, and Luka never returned his call or text or whatever. So, yeah, 77 clearly thinks otherwise in terms of if he had something to do with it or not. But look, that's up to,
thinking and knowing are two different things.
Yeah, that's up to 77 and him for him to believe and to decide on his own. So,
and whether you knew about it or liked it, or two different things.
Exactly.
To be fair.
All right. Stein, anything else before we let you go?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we appreciate you hanging out with us here.
You coming to the studio tomorrow?
Yes, I am.
All right.
I was initially going to Milwaukee, and it just to do it as a back-to-back was too difficult, so I am not going to Milwaukee. I will be in studio with you guys tomorrow.
We'll party on.
Well, I mean, if you want to break the internet some more, with all this idea of LeBron and Stephen Curry teaming up in Golden State, feel free to do that over the next 24 hours, see after you're breaking the internet and whatnot. Appreciate. I don't really
think that broke the internet.
No, it had a lot of people talking. It's cool though. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, friends.
Bye, Mark.
See ya.
I was gonna make a joke whenever you said at the very beginning of the game, why is Anthony Edwards coming off the bench? I was literally going to say he was probably taking a poop. He was.
Are you serious?
Ant confirms. This is from John. Ant confirms, quote, I was taking a S word.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he came off the bench. Hopefully he washed his hands because he dapped up Mike Conley.
He did.
I hope he washed his hands really well. So yeah, he was moving the bowels.
Now he's got a tweet about it.
John
like
Krasinski,
Najee
by
did.
the way, is his name.
Najee also. Najee,
Najee
same
had a pretty
thing.
funny
You know, he
tweet.
wasn't late to the game. He
Yeah.
was early to exit.
That's unreal, man. That's hilarious. So he was literally taking.
A pregame dump.
I respect it, man. You gotta do
I
what
once
you gotta
read
do.
back in the day, in the ancient days of magazines. I was reading an ESPN the magazine where there was like a little article of players talking about their pregame routines, and former Jets running back / kick returner / punt returner Leon Washington. You remember
Oh
him?
yeah, I do remember Leon Washington.
Fast player.
Fast guy.
He said that his pregame ritual is always to go poop right before the game. He said it makes him feel lighter. I mean, it does.
I mean, it does.
It doesn't just make you feel lighter, buddy. You do
Yeah.
lose weight if you do it.
I respect it.
Yeah. So, and there have been, I won't say who, there have been Mavs through the years that do something very similar.
Yeah, I believe it, Arcane. Yeah, because and it's hilarious. He not wanting to get out here and just be lying. He says exactly what's on his mind. So, because I thought it was really weird. Like he checked in a minute into the game. Was like, why is Mike Conley starting this game? Well, now we have our answer.
I was good. I wish that I would have made the joke.
You should have,
because then I would have felt like Bob Stradamus. But yeah, I was torn between either saying, well, maybe he had to get treatment or something real quick, or he was taking a poop.
We now know the truth. Shout out to the hard-hitting journalist for asking.
He was
that question.
spilling his guts in the visitors' locker room. And I got to say, his teammates are probably very happy that he waited until the game had already started, because that visitors' locker room in the arena is small.
Yeah, it is.
One man can, make a difference.
Tear it up. Yeah.
The actions, one person can make a huge difference.
Oh, Pistons and Thunder in overtime now? Oh, wow. Okay. See how that unfolds and ends. Okay. Tanner, we appreciate you, man. It's looking to sound good as always. Thank you, sir, even through poop talk. Thanks so much. Shout out to our nationally made insider, Mark Stein, Dapper Stein, our DLS Mavs beat writer, Ron Harrod Jr. for joining us during our show as well. Ant Scat is crazy. That's our DLLS Mavs analyst, Bobby Curl. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS.
It was ESPN the magazine. It wasn't Playboy.
Oh, geez.
Did I not say the kind of magazine?
You said ESPN the magazine.
Okay, because someone else said it was a SI for kids. It might have been, honestly.
Who
I don't
knows?
know. It might have been just SI or Reader's Digest. I don't know. Because I was a kid. when
Now
this
you just
happened.
start naming all the magazines? Okay.
Yeah. Well, and as I was reading it, I was doing what Leon Washington says he does.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
We are back tomorrow. Our pregame show will begin at 6:30 p.m. as the Mavericks visit the Giannis-less Bobby's favorite Milwaukee Bucks.
That is just not even close to true anymore. Nor was it ever, but definitely not anymore.
It's fine. Pregame show starts at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow right here on DLLS Sports. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.